Yeah. So the most noticeable thing on the vocals is that they are just extremely abrasive, like very abrasive. There's little to no reverb, staccato phrasing. Na na na. He's like na 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 na. I honestly think it's a pretty bland melody, and I don't think that he sings it very well. He sings it with kind of a strained voice. Now the thing is like he's done this before, and he's done this especially on Life Is But a Dream, and I understand maybe why he does it, because he did this on Nobody, right? He does it on Nobody on Life Is But a Dream, and the purpose is he is representing a tortured character, tortured someone, right? And so this is, there is a point of view change in this section specifically. We go from that like third person entity observing humanity to this now, I think, is maybe the voice of humanity. And so he switches to this kind of tormented, strained voice. Problem is, it just doesn't really sound good, and the melody isn't really good, and the mix is really not good. So let's listen again. Yeah, and this is one of those scenarios, right, where I think it's always important, or one of my favorite things about Avenged is that when they're writing, they write with the theme and the idea of the song like coming first before something like, say, The Rule of Cool, where, a lot of bands basically their whole songwriting philosophy is just the rule of cool. Like, if it sounds cool, put it in the song. Avenged doesn't do that, and I actually prefer it that way. To them, the theme and the idea is much more important. And so for M. Shadows, singing with that strained voice is more important than singing in a way that sounds pleasing to the ear, because specifically he wants this to sound strained and sound tormented. I just think that there is a bit of a line there. I don't know. And this is kind of where with this song, actually, before we get into it, let me read the lyrics real quick. So he says, I write for me, nail on my head. I read for me when I'm dead. Unto the road, the golden way, eternal light. So from a lyrical perspective, I actually think these are really great. We're getting into actually like philosophical territory. The idea of like, there is a selfishness to this. The I write for me, I read for me, I do things for me. But this character does believe that they are heading towards the golden way, the eternal light, I read for me when I'm dead, unto the road, the golden way, eternal light. So there is a little bit of arrogance here, a little bit of like, selfishness, which I think is the representation of humanity that we're getting in this song, and that we've gotten from the entity that was talking about humanity earlier on. But we're seeing humanity's side. So on one hand, it's like, I actually do, again, this, so now let's talk about what I was saying earlier, where I appreciate this from Avenged. I like that they do this, but it does make it very jarring, and it's not, like it just does not sound good, versus where I feel like on Nobody, when he did this, like if you go and listen to Nobody, the mix was way better. It was, you could hear the drums, you could feel the intensity. Here, the drums are very, very quiet, damn near almost inaudible. The guitar parts are indecipherable. So we're just drawn to those vocals, and it's like, he's got this filter on him. He's singing the melody. I don't think is particularly interesting either. And so all of those things stacked onto, okay, then on top of that, he's going to sing with this like strained, tormented voice. It kind of just, it all lends itself to a pretty underwhelming section, honestly. In fact, this is my least favorite section of the song. I think that the tempo is a little bit too slow. Like the overall tempo of the song is too slow for this to actually sound intense. And the mix and the way the mix is set up isn't lending itself to like really getting into it. And so it's hard to appreciate the like, and I can appreciate why he did it, but it's just hard to really enjoy it and get into it when there's so many other elements of this section that I think are just kind of a mess. So, yeah, the lyrics are great. I feel like I get why they're doing it or why he's singing it that way, but it just didn't quite land for me.